Morning and welcome to the 1st of February. Um, so, as I mentioned previously, having successfully navigated my way through veganuary, I'm just turn this television off because it's in my eye line again. I've decided to try the planet-based diet for February. So, I'm going to do test my blood pressure and check my weight throughout the month, and I'll probably do another blood test towards the end of the month. Send that off and see if there's been any impact. I might add the cholesterol test to it as well. I didn't do that in my January blood test, so I might add cholesterol in there and see what impact that has. So why am I doing the planet-based diet? So a little bit of history around the Planet Diet. According to Wikipedia, it was created by the EAT Lancet Commission as part of a report released in the Lancet on the 16th of January 2019. So its aims are to feed the world's population of 10 billion in 2050, greatly reduce the worldwide number of deaths caused by poor diet, and to be environmentally sustainable as to prevent the collapse of the natural world. So those three. I'm sorry I have to look at my laptop while I'm talking. Is it what we should all be doing? So the controversial bit of it is that people are saying, well, there's plenty of places in the developing world that couldn't actually even provide the planet-based diet or the planet diet. So I'm guessing, is it really aimed at that population sector? I don't know. I suspect the politics behind it, because there's politics behind most things these days, is that it's aimed at those who have a Western lifestyle, if that's what we want to call it, and therefore Western diets. And if we're saying that those folks have got the biggest impact on consumption of food and the environment, then that group of people need to do something about their diet in order to reduce that impact and therefore provide, to meet those three aims. Now, clearly, there are parts of the world that are rapidly growing to Western-based lifestyle standards. So I'm thinking particularly about China, with a massive increase in what you would call the middle classes there. I'm guessing if the middle class in China, for whatever reason, decide that they're going to consume food at the same rate as Western countries, then clearly that's probably not a good thing for us all. Other than that, I'm not really dug into the politics of it all. And I'm sure there are lots of people who either disagree with the planet diet because it's asking too much and it's scaremongering and we don't need to do this. Yes, we need to do something, but we don't need to go this far. And then there's probably people saying, no, it's not going far enough. Vegan's the way and it's the only way. And I absolutely fully respect that. As I keep on saying, everybody's entitled to their opinion, so long as it's informed. And I guess that all of this just contributes towards the overall discussion and knowledge, and hopefully at some point some sort of consensus either develops or people make a decision for themselves and make a decision to do something about their diet and lifestyle and impact on the world, to ensure that the whole thing's sustainable. Who's right and who's wrong? I think that's very difficult to predict, because I think the ecology of the world is a very, very complicated system, and I don't know whether our models of what our impacts are on the ecology of the world, and the sustainability of our existence actually is. So I try not to sit on one side of the argument to others, and people might say, "Oh, well, you're just sitting on the fence," and I think it's going to be a developing story. Let's put it that way. But clearly, for the first time in our history, we are really having to start thinking about the impact that we're having on the world, because I suspect for hundreds and thousands of years we've really just not thought about that. Our thoughts have been about conquering other countries and having geopolitical power and raising standards of living based upon some sort of ideal vision that the politicians would think that we all want to aim for or hanker after, or whatever. So perhaps we're the first generation of folks on the planet are thinking, right, we've got to be careful here. And clearly we've been thinking about this for a long time. So Friends of the Earth and organisations like that have been around a long time. So people have been concerned about this for a long time, and I think it's just gaining greater consideration. So that's partly why I'm doing it, because I think that be interesting to see what impact having the Planet Diet would have on a 50-something-year-old bloke like me. So just as a little bit of an experiment. It's only well, I'm going to do it for February, but the chances are that it may last longer than that, because as I mentioned in my video the other day, we've made the decision that we're not going to buy any new meat. What we're going to do is eat up, or I'm going to do is eat up any meat that we have already, or perhaps, you know, if we go around to a meal at somebody's house and they've not thought on, and you end up having some meat there, something like that. So the chances are that actually day to day I'll still end up eating predominantly plant-based. So and that's just because my wife's a vegan, and I'm not expecting her to change, but I think there'll be times where meat gets cooked off. So, for example, my mother and father-in-law aren't vegan, and so if they come around for Sunday lunch, the chances are that we're going to cook some meat for them. So any meat that's left over, then probably I'll have in sandwiches or warmed up or whatever, turn into something else throughout the week. So clearly we don't want it to go to waste. That's just not good. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to pattern itself out. So for example, this week I may not have any meat at all. We've no reason to take any meat out of the freezer. I'm also away a bit this week, but then the following week I might be at home a bit more. We might have somebody around for lunch on Sunday, something like that. So be interested to just see how it works out. There might be times and just say, oh yeah, actually I do fancy having some meat, and I'll have a rummage around in the freezer and cook it off, and then that'll do me for sandwiches and meals and curries and stuff like that throughout the week. So as I say, I'm going to record it for a month and then see how we go on from there. So be interested to see what people think about me doing this. Am I betraying veganism by having done veganism for a month and then going back to eating meat? Fair enough. Tell me that if you think that's the case. I'd be happy to listen to what you have to say. If you think that the Planet Diet is something that everybody should be aiming for, particularly those with Western diets, and we should all be moving towards that at the very least. If we move towards wholly plant-based, then fantastic, but certainly as a first step we should be moving to the Planet Diet, then fair enough. Now I'll just quickly look. So the maximum restriction is 14 grams of red meat a day, 29 grams of chicken a day, 30 grams of eggs a day, 250 grams or equivalent of dairy products a day, and then starchy vegetables 50 grams a day, and all sugar 31 grams a day. There are actually restrictions on fruit, vegetables, grains and oil, which I shall investigate further. That's probably more to do about sustainability. So it'd be interesting to see how that compares and what those restrictions actually are. I suspect they won't be that great, but it'd be interesting to see what they are. So I'll update you day by day, let you know how I'm getting on. So hope you're interested in this, and hope that you will find these videos encouraging, informative, and hopefully that you like my style of delivering them, and do let me know if you want me to do something else. Okay, have a great day. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.